Okay, so the last factoring video, and it looks really messy and challenging, but it's actually kind of really cool here. So I'm going to start off with maybe one of the easier problems is how do you factor something like this right here? Well, the way to go about it is to basically look at the smallest exponent you have and see what happens if you factor it out. So factor out x to the 1/2 power, or square root of x for that matter. All right, so got to extend this guy a little bit here. So what happens is then you have x to the 1/2 power. Now think to yourself, this has to be x, and this times this has to give you 3.5. Well, that's going to be 2/2. And this is just going to be a 1 because I factored it out. And voila, you have factored out and created something that actually looks halfway decent. X to the 1/2 power, x minus 1. A lot of times this kind of trick will help you simplify stuff and just concentrate everything that's really, well, not pretty in one location. Let me show this to you in this case right here. So again, we're looking at this and we're noticing that, yes, these are the same. So that, same base. Well, same base, you look at their exponents and you say, okay, the smallest one is 1/2. So I'm going to factor out x plus 3 to the 1/2 power. And left behind will be a 1 minus, well, if I take away 1/2 from that, that's going to leave me with x plus 3. And now the consequence of that is that I can actually do this and simplify this and work with this. So that's going to give me x plus 3 to the 1/2 power. And left behind is going to be, negative 2 minus x. There we go. All right. So then you get to a problem where you have like these negative powers and you're like, oh man, that looks scary. Well, remember, factor out the smallest one. That advice still rings true. This is the smallest one because it's the most negative one. So I'm going to factor out x plus 5 to the negative 3/2. Now, that means I am taking away 3/2 from negative 1/2. So I'm taking away negative 3/2 from that, which isn't it the same thing as adding? Yeah, so that gives me 2/2. So that ends up being x plus 5 to the 2/2 minus 1. Well, that's not that bad. This is just the 1. So therefore, this gives me x plus 5, negative 3/2. And then this thing becomes x plus 4. Notice how much easier that looks. And by the way, if you wanted to, yes, that is x plus 4 divided by x plus 5 to the 3/2. And you can do more stuff with it, but that's not really the goal here. I mean, you can multiply this by x plus 5 and x plus 5 to get your answer down to x plus 5 to the 1/2, right? To rationalize the denominator. So you can get it down to basically this over x plus 5 squared. So notice how we've basically transferred something that is a sum or difference, same thing, to something that's in factored form and something that has much nicer components. And this is what this is really about. So give these a try. Notice I do have answers here for you to consider over there with simplified answer and pre-simplified answer. Really cool little trick, comes in handy once in a while, and definitely better as fractional powers. So I would highly recommend for you to switch these into fractional powers. Okay.